Welcome to the Mashup Factory, where culture and commerce collide. It's hard to believe, but this is what the first Apple computer looked like. Yes, it's true, the first Apple computer was not slick or artful or even attractive. It was a DIY project cooked up by a couple of teenage hippies trying to democratize the power of information from their garage. Apple wasn't about pretty. Apple was about hooking stuff up to see if it worked and infusing technology with the energy and ideals of a time when art, life, music, food, and politics all played out in the street. So in the house of we, as we move from the few to the many, who will be the next pioneers that manage to harness today's counterculture to innovate the next culturally transformative art and tools? Today, we're going to look for that answer at the same place Steve Jobs looked way back when, down on the corner and out in the streets.
Down on the corner, out in the street, playing the folk boys are playing, bring the nickels, happy feet.
We're here in the moment today, and we're looking at the only place that you used to be able to see art in the past, which was in a museum and inside these walls. But ironically, we're in front of a Wearable, which is inspiring and instigating the engagement economy that we are living in today and that we're going to explore on the streets of Manhattan as art moves from inside to out. I thought I lost a lot of weight until I saw her. Unbelievable, making me look bad. She's on the air diet. Another example of art moving from inside out. This looks like an emaciated goat, also making me look bad, especially since they used to call me Billy the Kid. This is the MoMA highlight book for the year and the year ahead. Clearly how the Wearable engagement economy is impacting both art inside, and we're going to see outside how that's happening as well. So we're here on 55th and Broadway, and we're looking at one of the first examples we've seen of the movement of art going from inside to out, which is the food truck revolution. We're here today in front of Gorilla Cheese, and here we have sweet chili. So another interesting point about the food trucks and the fact that art is no longer inside, it's out, is that you no longer need frames for artwork, just like we saw with the standing street sculptures. The same could be said of food, where you no longer need a restaurant and for fine dining. It's right here on the streets of Manhattan. So 55th and Broadway, just a few steps from the MoMA, and we're seeing the movement of art from inside to out. Hello, we're here at Lincoln Center, and we're going to explore a little more of art going from inside to out. This looks like a Rorschach test put out in public. I don't know, but he looks pretty happy to see me. Candygram! Hopefully this will bring us a stroke of good luck. We're here at Best Buy, and we're going to be looking at another area where art has moved from inside out. And one of the latest areas we're seeing it is in technology, with the advent of the smartphone. Smartwatch, not smartphone. Having said that, what's great about the smartphone revolution, smartwatch, is that it is really wearable software that takes art, again, from the inside out, and it enables us to be on the go, as well as co-create a variety of different iterations of this product, the Pebble, and others. Now the smartphone, the smartwatch, what is wrong with me? It does a variety of things. It moves us from being overly connected to being disconnected while still connected, and that's the latest trend that we're seeing. So smartwatch is very, very akin to street art in many different ways that show how in the engagement economy, it's all about co-creation, creativity, and accessibility. The other thing that is great about this wearable technology, very similar to the street art movement and what we saw in the inside out movement that we talked about in art everywhere, is the idea that the technology is accessible to everyone. Just like the art is accessible to everyone in the streets, this type of technology is accessible to us all, in addition to being wearable. So this is a trend of the future that we're definitely going to see. And again, it's a very, very excellent point of where the engagement economy is going. Here we are on the Upper West Side in front of one of the Banksy pieces that he has painted during his recent visit to New York, where he's showing that is taking place across the streets of Manhattan is called Better Out Than In, which is clearly a representation of what we've been talking about all day, the movement of art from inside institutions like the MoMA to out here in the streets, the food trucks, the graffiti of New York. It's very interesting as well that someone tried to spray paint over this, and the community came and put a piece of plastic over it to preserve it just as if it was inside of an institution. So accessible to all, but in the house of we all celebrate art and we serve and protect it together. Since their bohemian beginnings in the late 60s and early 70s, the culture has won some and lost some. Art returned to museums and galleries. Creative food was once again served in ornate dining rooms, and rather than breaking down walls and redefining the culture through the lens of counterculture, Apple became Big Brother. But there's a new counterculture in town. Street artists like Banksy and Mr. Brainwash are bringing art back out into the streets, drawing crowds that outscale any traditional gallery or museum. Food trucks are now serving up 3-star dishes made from locally sourced ingredients through a takeout window, and people are disconnecting from their iPhones and iPads in favor of wearable forms of software like the Pebble, Samsung's Galaxy Gear, and the Sony smartwatch, none of which, you notice, begin with the letter I. There's a new counterculture in town. Here's to we, not me, finding it. Break on through. Until next time, I'm Billee Howard.
Try to run, try to hide, break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side, yeah. We chased our pleasures here.